Hey, patriots, and welcome back to Right Wing Roundup, where we celebrate the unbreakable spirit of America first. And we shine a light on the real wins happening under President Trump's golden age. As we wrap up 2025, a year that's already seen massive strides in taking our country back. Think record deportations kicking off, the economy roaring back to life, and the swamp starting to drain like never before. One viral moment is exploding across X and YouTube, exposing the leftover rot from the Biden Harris disaster. Citizen journalist Nick Shirley, by the way, a true American and MAGA patriot, just dropped bombshell footage investigating Somali run daycares in Minnesota that are nothing but taxpayer funded fraud factories. This isn't just a story, but it's proof that under Trump's leadership, everyday Americans are stepping up to uncover the scams that the left enabled for years, paving the way for real accountability and reclaiming billions for hardworking families. With Trump back in the White House, moments like this show that we're finally winning the fight against corruption, one exposed lie at a time. If you don't believe me, watch it for yourself right now. This clip is too explosive to just hear about secondhand. So I'm going to hit play. I need you guys to turn up the volume. And I want you guys to see exactly why the left's house of cards is crumbling under the weight of truth, thanks to fearless patriots like Nick.
I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door.
Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check a child in the daycare.
Why?
Can I speak to a manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare.
And after a few questions, the lady went silent.
Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Child Care.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I tried to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door.
I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
No, so I work there. What's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They
Yeah.
got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When? No, when?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
happened?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you?
All right, welcome back, patriots. Wow. Okay, so if that didn't fire you up, check your pulse. Getting old. So that footage from Nick Shirley is pure gold. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and it exposes the fraud that's been bleeding America dry under Democrat rule, specifically in states like Minnesota. Picture this: Nick with his sunglasses on, his mic clipped, marching through snowy Minneapolis strip malls, knocking on doors, these so-called daycares that rake in millions from our tax dollars, but have zero kids in sight. The tension builds as the door creaks open to suspicious faces. Windows blacked out like they're hiding state secrets. I'd like to check a child into daycare, Nick says casually, only to get stonewalled with awkward silences, yelling, and outright denials. One Somali woman snaps, "Why?" Like enrolling a kid is like a wild conspiracy. It's like, I'm sorry, I think this is a daycare. So, yeah, another claims there's kids there, but can't say how many. Sounds like there aren't any. That's a classic evasion. And in my opinion, the peak moment where a group of guys swarming Nick outside, demanding to know what he's up to while he holds up state documents showing that these places get $1.26 million for 74 children that don't exist. It sounds like satire, but unfortunately, this is just absurdity. At the same time, it is uplifting because we're seeing that under Trump's leadership, real American patriots are fighting back. This ties straight back into Trump's America First agenda. Cracking down on welfare fraud, securing our borders, and stopping the flow of our money to scams that the Biden era let flourish. No more. All right. So diving deeper than just, surface level breakdown, let's break down this video's content like a masterpiece because that's what it is. So Nick Shirley isn't some mainstream media hack spinning narratives. He's a boots on the ground investigator. So what does that mean? It means that he teams up with this local whistleblower, David, and he peels back the layers of what is $1 billion scandal. One of the things we all loved about Doge was that it was going to, find money that could be used for American patriots that was currently being used for left-wing wackos, and we're just bringing it back. And it's crazy that Nick, just a regular guy, is exposing this $1 billion scandal. Could you imagine? We need to give this guy a medal. If this real American patriot is able to bring $1 billion of our hard-worked money back into the American taxpayers' pocket, we're set. We really are set. And we need to give him a medal. We need to give him some sort of prize. I'd be willing to give him $1 million, frankly. I'd be willing to give him a lot of money. He's able to get us a 1.2, he's able to get us $1 billion. So this is truly uplifting. But he's able to do this, and at over 40 minutes, he's able to clock this. Just over 40 minutes. He methodically exposes how Somali immigrants, under relaxed Democrat oversight, set up fake daycares and healthcare fronts to siphon federal and state funds through programs like the Child Care Assistant Program, that's the CCAP. We're taking buildings licensed for hundreds of kids, 120 here, 99 there. But when Nick shows up, it's crickets. There's no toys, there's no cries, there's nothing. Windows frosted or covered. By the way, if we're covering windows at a daycare, something's wrong. And this is during peak business hours. So one spot, the Sweet Angel Childcare, was getting the $1.26 million, and the staff couldn't even pretend to know where the children were. Nick's deadpan line, "Looks like little Joey surely ain't going to daycare here," after getting the silent treatment. It's hilarious, but at the same time, it is heartbreaking. It's hilarious because it mocks the absurdity, but it's heartbreaking because that's our money funding this nonsense. If you ever feel like your money doesn't stretch or you're spending too much on taxes, just know that the Biden era did not value your dollar at all and was putting it towards this nonsense. And we can't pretend like the symbolism doesn't run deep here. Those blacked out windows, they're a metaphor for the opacity of the left's policies, hiding the truth from taxpayers while the establishment looks the other way. Nick flashing state-issued licenses and payment records is like waving the American flag of accountability. And the little Easter eggs. I love looking for the little Easter eggs. Pay attention to the signage. One daycare misspells learning as leering. Learing. Sloppy, right? It's a nod to how these operations aren't even trying to look legitimate. Yet Tim Walz's Minnesota handed them millions of dollars without a single inspection. Nick even ties in the state's new flag, which eerily resembles Somalia's, as a subtle dig at how Democrat inclusivity has simply turned into cultural surrender. Then there's the healthcare angle. Entire buildings crammed with 14 or 22 Somali companies pulling in 50 or 60 million dollars yearly for phantom services like non-emergency medical transport. That's right, 50 to 60 million dollars every single year with no patients, no rides that have been verified, just fake forms, zero oversight. So Nick confronts staff who dodge questions like pros, one even calling the cops on him for harassment. But the real power move? Nick storming the state capitol, grilling Democrat reps who squirm and deflect, blaming bipartisan issues while ignoring Walls' role in the mess. A Republican rep charts in hand lays out the fraud scale. $8 billion stolen, proving that conservatives are the ones fighting for real Americans. But why does this resonate so deeply with conservatives in 2025? Because it's a microcosm of the cultural war we're winning under Trump. For years, the Biden-Harris regime flooded our communities with unvetted immigrants, enabling block voting and fraud rings that the mainstream media ignored or labeled racist to question. Remember the Feeding Our Future scandal? That was just the tip. That was $250 million in child nutrition fraud, mostly Somali led, with ties to terrorism like Al-Shabaab. Nick's video builds on that. It shows that these problems are ongoing. But now, with Trump in charge, we're seeing the tide turn. Deportations are ramping up. He had over 500,000 in his first year back, targeting criminals and fraudsters first. This exposure is fuel for ICE raids. Just like the Expos demands, raid each and every one of these buildings now. And it's optimistic because it proves that the left was wrong. Their diversity is our strength mantra was just a cover for draining the swamp of our resources. Everyday Americans like Nick are the new media, bypassing CNN's lies to deliver truth straight to your feed. And in Trump's golden age, this means real wins, billions clawed back for infrastructure, tax cuts, and, with $1 billion, I think we might be looking at a border wall. But we're not going to be getting any more of these fake daycares. Now, contrast this with the Biden era failure, and it's night and day. Under Sleepy Joe and cackling Kamala, Minnesota ballooned from an $18 billion solar surplus to a $6 billion deficit. Poof, gone to fraud, while families struggled with inflation. Walls, that radical leftist who called socialism neighborly, well, I think you can guess he turned a blind eye. He was scared that they would call him Islamophobic. There were no audits, no verifications, just handouts. Meanwhile, real American kids went without. Schools crumbled. And veterans, they had to wait in long, long lines. The media, silent, or spinning it as, cultural differences. But Trump, he's draining that swamp faster than you can say America First. His Doge initiative, the Department of Government Efficiency, is already slashing waste. And with RFK Jr. and Vivek leading the charge, expect a lot of audits. The video is proof. The left scams are exposed and conservatives are reclaiming control. There's no more funding terrorism overseas with their dollars because Trump's foreign policy has us strong, energy independent, and putting Americans first. Now let's talk viral success, because this thing is blowing up like fireworks on the 4th. Posted on X by Eric Doherty, the clip alone has racked up over 1.25 million views, 48,000 likes, and 13,000 reposts in just a few hours. These top comments are fire, by the way. Send them all out, demands one patriot, echoing Trump's deportation vows. Another, make states repay the fraud money back to the federal government. Spot on. Prayers for Nick's safety pour in, with users tagging ICE and the DOJ. The full YouTube video, it's already at 30,000 views and has 7,000 likes on day one, with comments like, this is why we voted Trump. Time to clean house. And then others saying, God bless Nick for doing what the media won't. It's trending on X under hashtags like MinnesotaFraud and DrainTheSwamp, shared by influencers like Eric as well, as well as many other conservative accounts. But why is it so massive? Well, it's because in 2025, with Elon Musk's free speech on X, truth spreads unchecked by big tech censors. No more shadow bans because conservatives are dominating the narrative. They turn viral moments into policy pressure. This isn't just views. It's votes, it's actions, and it's victories. The broader picture? This video screams how conservatives are winning the media and entertainment wars. The left had Hollywood. The left had legacy news in their pocket. They were pushing the woke propaganda. They were ignoring the scandals. But now, citizen journalists and real American patriots like Nick Shirley are armed with phones and they're armed with facts. And they are the new stars. Faceless channels like ours thrive because we are authentic. We have no corporate sponsors. We are patriots. Trump's audience. And Trump's golden age has unleashed this. We have podcasters, YouTubers, ex-warriors, outpacing MSNBC's dwindling audience. This is proof that we're taking our culture back. Remember when the media mocked Trump's fake news calls? Now, with exposure like this, they are the joke. And in foreign policy, Trump's peace through strength, which the left tried to make fun of, has us avoiding endless wars, has us focusing inward on fraud like this that could fund our enemies. We are economically reclaiming these billions, which means more jobs, lower taxes, real wins for everyday Americans. Culturally, it's a blow to the left's identity politics because there's not going to be any more special treatment for groups that are gaming the system. We're building unity around American values, not division. So as we head into 2026, the optimism is electric. With Trump steering the ship, expect full investigations into this mess in Minnesota. The raids, repayments, deportations of fraudsters, this is just the start. The golden age, where America first triumphs, the swamp dries up, and patriots like you lead the charge. So hit that like button if this fired you up. Subscribe for more breakdowns of conservative victories. Drop your favorite part in the comments. Was it Nick's Joey bit or the Capitol confrontation? Share this with every red-blooded American you know. Together, we're unstoppable. God bless you. God bless President Donald J. Trump, and God bless the United States of America.